design. We have done government budget, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So basically we have done 2 units, this one and this one, right? Over there, we need to do BOP, and like after this we need to do 2 more units. And what about your Indian Eco? We are left with this and 2 more units. This is the only 1 unit and 3 more, 4 units. Okay. This is September, October, November, December. Yeah, we'll be able to do it by December or Jan. Do you have any particular restriction in your schools that you need to cover your syllabus before this date or something like that?
Ma'am, they have mentioned that the portions will finish by December.
Yeah, this is what I am also planning, because see, from where when your school started, Amos?
September 4.
Okay, no. Like from starting itself.
M-
I guess
uh,
April,
March.
March itself, right? So
Yes.
yeah, and from where when we started from, I think May.
May.
May, na something. So that the 2 months gap, and the drawback is that for economics you are getting like 3 days classes in a week, right? But in school we have daily classes, or you can say 5-day classes. So somewhere. So don't worry, we will also try to finish, because we are almost like we have almost completed 2 units. That's like we started from, I guess, May, na June, July, in two units. So August 3 units, like the third one, the Indian Eco. So September will cover this entire portion will be covering. Then October, November, December. So we will be like, yeah, we will be able to cope. So no need to worry. Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Did we finish national income and aggregates chapter?
No, we didn't finish it. Actually, I started it, right? The basic concept and all that. But then most of you told me that, ma'am, like money and banking is coming in your unit. So I just stopped that and I started money and banking.
Yes, ma'am. I'm having an exam October 10th. So I think it's this chapter will also be there.
Okay. So once we are done with this, the October 10th, then once we are done with this unit, then we'll just quickly start with national income. Okay. That's my
Okay.
plan. Okay. Because we did this money and banking, so demand and all that. So it is somewhere the consistency. So that's why because national income, I'll be taking good number of things, because that will include numericals plus the theoretical portion. And that's the highest score. You can say highest marks are from there only. Yes, it is for 10 marks. So income determination, if you are going to do it, because you have 3 chapters over here. So at least you will be able to score a good marks. So that's why this chapter and national income is also important. Okay. So today we'll begin with this. So what you will write, unit number 3, determination of income and employment. So first we will do aggregate demand and its component. Okay. Then prosperity to consume and prosperity to save, like average and the marginal. Then short-term equilibrium output and investment multiplier and its mechanism. Meaning of full employment and involuntary unemployment. Problem of excess demand and this. So in the very first unit, like the first page, you'll write, not the first page, like where you end the previous one. After that, unit 3, just write macroeconomics, unit 3, this and the entire portion. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, November 5. Oh, it's too quick. Okay, so my target is by December we'll be completing it. But let's see, nobody knows what happens. Okay, I will also try to finish as soon as possible, so that I think in your, I guess, February or March you'll have your boards, right? Any idea?
Yes, ma'am.
Feb or March? Is it in between Feb and March, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I heard February 15th or something.
Yes, something like that. So, yeah, February 15th. So, what we will do, December, we'll complete the syllabus, and January, we will do only revision as much as practice question, previous year questions, and all that, so that you people are ready for Feb. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, Mariam. So, what's your syllabus for that 25 marks test?
Done, ma'am.
Okay. BOP is there, and Mariam. The Saturday. Actually, I took Hiba's class for BOP yesterday. So, Mariam, what I will do, I'll just share you a PDF. Okay, and in case if I can, because it's on Saturday, tomorrow is an off for operation team. So even I can't ask them for you know the extra class, but I will share you the PDF personally so that you, and also I'll just share you few audio messages for BOP, what you have to learn, what you can skip over there. Or Mariam, what I will do, I think like the class I took for Heba, na, they have the recording for BOP. So I will ask them to share it with you so that you can go through the recording, and plus I'll the PDF I'll share. Is it fine for BOP? If we have done. Okay, so just remind me. Okay, once I forget now, just remind me so that I'll just share the PDF as well as like after the class. Just remind. Others are done with the syllabus portion. Unit number 3, determination and all that. Term 1 exam on September. Okay, so what's the syllabus for this? 6 chapters are coming now. Okay, Adib. So what's the syllabus for that, Adib? Just share me the syllabus as well. Others, you have done the writing portion?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. Okay, okay. So equilibrium. Okay, okay. Then Adib, I'll just take your one extra class 20, before 20th so that I can explain the things. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So let's just begin with the chapter, students. I hope everyone can see my screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So basically, this is your unit. Just ignore this portion because it is related. So over here, you will be getting the 3 chapters. Okay. Which is first chapter, you will getting aggregate demand, aggregate supply and related concept. Then you will get income determination and the multiplier. And the third chapter will be excess demand and the deficit demand. So this unit is divided into 3 portions. So you will write chapter number, chapter. Don't write number because it will vary according to the book. So write chapter, aggregate demand, aggregate supply and related concept. Okay.
Okay.
Done.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Everyone, you just have to write this, the first chapter, not the entire chapters. Done, everyone? No? Heba, Adib, Mohammedayan. Okay. Adib and Mohammed Ayan done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, students, meaning of aggregate demand and aggregate expenditure. So, ma'am, the question is, ma'am, why it is expenditure? Why you are saying that aggregate demand and expenditure is equal? See, the people who are planning to demand, right? They will spend the money. That's why, that's why they are planning to spend it, right? So, what the people who are doing the demand, they will only do the expenditure. So that's why either it is aggregate demand or the aggregate expenditure. It's the same thing. Clear? Why? Because these people are the people who are demanding, they will only spend the money. So that is known as expenditure. Right? So that's why meaning of aggregate demand or aggregate expenditure. So aggregate demand refers to total demand for final goods and services in an economy during an accounting year. So accounting year you already know, the fiscal year, right? So aggregate demand refers to how much I will be demand, right? The total demand for final goods, not for raw material, for final goods and services. Okay, in an economy, so that is your aggregate demand. Aggregate you already know. The in first unit we did aggregate means addition, the combination, right? So for example, from our we have, for example, I have 3 batch of economics. Okay, then I asked that who needs study material. From here 2 people said, ma'am, we want. From here 1 said, from here 3 said. So if I'll say what is the aggregate demand, I'll add everyone. 2 plus 1 plus 3. So it will be 4, 5, 6. Okay, clear? So your aggregate demand is total demand for the final goods and services. So it is not for raw material, it's for final goods. Next, it is aggregate or total expenditure on final goods and services. So basically, you can say it is total expenditure or you can say it is expenditure. You can say it is aggregate expenditure or total expenditure on final goods and services. Why? Because the people who are demanding, they will only spend money. So that is their expenditure. So that's why demand equals to expenditure. Next, if people tend to spend more than what they were spending on goods and services earlier, it means rise in aggregate demand and vice versa. Okay. So for example, if people tend to spend more, now if people are spending more, for example, one note, like one study material is for 10 rupees, right? So earlier it was 10, the 6 people were demanding. So 6 into 10, it was 60, right? Now, total expenditure was 60. But now total expenditure is maybe 100. So I can say that the people earlier 6 people were demanding, but now I think 10 people are demanding. Only then there is a rise in total demand, right? So if people tend to spend more, if they will earlier they were spending 60 rupees, now they are spending 100 rupees. So then that what they were spending on the goods and services earlier. So earlier they were spending 60 rupees, but now they are spending more, 100 rupees. So what does it mean? It means that aggregate demand is rise. Okay, or if it is vice versa. So when you can see that your aggregate demand is rise, you can say, okay, there is more expenditure. Clear? If your demand is rising, then you can say expenditure is also rising. Or you can say if your expenditure is rising, like people are spending more, then you can say if expenditure rise, that ma'am demand also rise. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Others? Okay. So this is very important because from this chapter, you will get numerical, the equations and all that. So you just need to be very peculiar about the things. Okay, that exactly you have to learn the things, the component and all that. Next is AD is related with income level. So your demand depends with income. For example, the person who has 10 rupees total income, why he will spend something, why he will purchase something that costs 10 rupees, right? He'll be purchasing something which is less than 10 rupees. So your aggregate AD is basically aggregate demand is related to income level. So what's your income level? That depends on your, what's your demand? That depends on your income level. For example, you want to eat chocolate, the price of chocolate is 10 rupees and you have only 20 rupees. So you can only buy, you can only purchase 2 chocolate. But the person who has 50 rupees, he can purchase 5 chocolates. So your aggregate demands depends on level of income. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Others getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
Students, exams are coming, so I need the seriousness. Okay. I want good marks. So because I want you people to understand the things so that whenever we'll be revising the things, it's not like that you are forced. Adib, especially for Adib. Adib,
Yes, ma'am.
this time I want good marks for this unit. You won't be saying that I had my accounts test. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am. I won't.
Okay, so your test went well. The subjective test for the second chapter of Indian Eco.
Sorry, ma'am.
The second test which I took day before yesterday, it went well.
Okay, ma'am.
You took,
Thank you.
I took test. It was fine. You attended the
No,
test?
no, I was thinking about the written test. Sorry.
Yeah, I took your written test for chapter number 2, na, Indian Eco. So that was
Yeah,
like, how was the test? It was good.
yeah, ma'am. I studied, so it was easy for me.
Good. For saying,
For the Viva, I didn't study that, so I didn't answer
hmm,
many questions.
this is what, even in your remarks, I wrote, he is capable, but he need to put more attention. He need to be more attentive in the class, right? Because I have
Yes,
seen
ma'am.
that you can do, but sometimes you are like, we'll see. Let's see what will happen.
Yes, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
That's done.
Done, ma'am.
Yes.
Now, basically, there was a you can say economist Keynes. Okay, so you'll be getting this name again and again. So now, according to him, what he thought aggregate demand is. So, in terms of Keynes, aggregate demand refers to total amount of money which the buyers are ready to spend on purchase of goods and services produced in an economy during a given period. Okay, so Keynes means aggregate demand is basically that money which the people are ready to spend on purchasing something within a time period. Okay, clear? So
Yes,
he
ma'am.
said aggregate demand is basically the money. Because if I'm demanding that I want 5 chocolate, that means I'm ready to spend 50 rupees. Right? So in terms of Keynes, or you can write according to Keynes. Okay, this definition. Just put it in a box or inverted commas like this. Okay, or you can write like according to Keynes, and from here you can start.
Done, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
Others done?
Ma'am, 1 second. Done, ma'am.
I hope everyone is done, right? Okay. Now, I hope you people can bring your scale and pencil so that you can make graph. Okay. For this entire chapter unit, you will be needing it. So let me explain, then you people can go and bring. In case if you don't have. Then relationship between aggregate demand and income. As I told you over here, that aggregate demand is related to income level. So, ma'am, what is the relationship between aggregate demand with the national income? Okay, so it's very obvious. If your income is increasing, you will demand more. So there is a positive relation. Okay, so there is a positive relationship between AD and income. That is, aggregate demand increases with rise in income. Clear? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and see, wait. And over here you will write and vice versa. And vice versa. Means if your income will fall, your aggregate demand will also fall. Right? So here you can see the example. This was the condition. Okay. When you are in this is your aggregate demand, this portion, and this is your income. When your income increase, right, from Y to Y1, right, your quantity demand, your demand also increase. It was from Q to Q1. You can say dash 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 dash, right? And when your income decreased, right, then also your demand also decreased. So this is this. So this is the graph, okay, which you need to remember that if you have to show your the relationship between AD and income, your graph will be like this. Okay, can anyone tell me from here why cannot be the this? It is starting from here. Why from here? Just remember, see, no matter whether your income is zero, your income can be zero, but your demand can never be zero. For example, you are not earning right now, so you won't eat anything, you won't consume anything. Of course, you will consume, na. So that's why your income can be zero, but your demand cannot be zero. That's why you are not going to start it from here. You are going to start it from here. Maybe it can be 1, 2, 3, whatever it is, but it will never be zero. That's why you are going to start it from here. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the curve shows positive relationship between income and ID. As income rises from OY to OY dash, AD rises from OQ to OQ dash, and vice versa. Means here you will not write vice versa. You will write as income falls from OY to OY2, AD falls from OQ to OQ to OQ2. Okay, I hope you can write it. OQ2. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's just a simple thing. See, you can write the things on your own. As your income is rising, so ma'am, what is OQ and all that? I have just given the name. You can even give the name like A, whatever it is. But just to make you understand, I have given the name like this. So, as your income rises from Y to Y1, your demand will also rise from Q to Q1. Okay, and as your income decreases from Y to Y2, right, then it will also Q to Q2, but you are taking it like this, OY, right? Your income was like as your income rises from OY to OY1, then your demand will rise from OQ to OQ1. But if your income is decreasing from OY to OY2, then your demand will also decrease from OQ to OQ2. Clear?
Yes, ma'am. It's clear.
This is clear, like O and all that. Are you getting confused or it is fine? O and all that. You want me to
No,
explain it again?
no confusion, ma'am.
No confusion. Others?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. So you will write hashtag relationship of aggregate demand this, and then draw the graph. Then after this, I'll just scroll it down. VV means vice versa.
Ma'am, can you scroll down?
Students done?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Others?
Yes, ma'am.
Adib and Mariam
Yes,
done?
ma'am.
Mariam done? No? Mariam, you are done? Okay, maybe network issues. Okay. Now we are going to do the relationship between aggregate demand with the price. This is very, you can say the simplest one. You already know the things. If price will increase, what will happen? You will purchase more. What will happen if the price will increase?
Purchase less.
Yes. So your demand will be
Decrease.
yes. And when your prices are low, then your demand will be high. Right? So relationship between aggregate demand and price level. This is a negative relation. One is increasing and one is decreasing. So it's a negative relation. So there is a negative relationship between aggregate demand, okay, them, that is aggregate demands falls with increase in general price and vice versa. So when there is increase in demand, when there is increase in price, aggregate demand falls, and when there is decrease in price, aggregate demands increases. Okay, so the curve shows negative relationship between price and AD. As the price rises, OP, the same thing which we did. Wait. As the price rises, OP. See over here, just remember one thing, students, that for income and your demand, it was like this. But for price and this, your slope is like this. So you have to remember the graph. Very important for this chapter. Okay. So graph are very important. So see, this was a general thing. Okay. So when your prices are increasing from P to P1, it is increasing, right? So what is happening? Your demand is decreasing, right? From OP to OP1, your prices increases. So that's why your demand decreases from OQ to OQ1. Okay. If your prices are falling down, you can see from P to P2, right? From P to P2. Okay. Then what will happen from Q to Q2, it will shift, right? So from OP to OP2, if it is decreasing, your prices are decreasing, then your demand will increase from OQ to OQ2. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Others?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So just remember one thing. When if prices are increasing, demand is increasing, that means it is a positive relation, that both are increasing or both are decreasing together. But if one is increasing and other is decreasing, that is a negative relation. Clear? So that's why there it was a positive. Positive means yes, you are right. So upward it will be. But negative is always downward sloping. Clear? That down. I'm crossing you out. But when you are right, then tick. So upward and down. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.